Welcome back to Town Hall Talk. For the next part of the show, I am joined with Amy Jeschawitz, Chair of the Planning Board. We're going to talk a little bit about the Williamstown Future Neighborhoods Project. So welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much for having me.
Why don't we start with where did this idea come from?
Well, I think the idea originated over the past several years, just here in town. Housing has been a big topic. And I believe, from last year's Economic Development Committee, it kind of has taken a little bit more of the forefront, looking at ways that we can encourage economic development, and housing kind of go hand in hand. Mm-hmm. So we decided to apply for a DLTA grant, which we did not get, but we were able to get a grant through the Massachusetts Housing Partnership. And that has kind of spurred this more in-depth look at our housing in our community.
And this Massachusetts Housing Partnership grant opportunity is pretty unique. There aren't a lot of these projects happening right now. Is that?
No, we're actually kind of a pilot program for the MHP project. The state of Massachusetts is toying with the idea of changing zoning statewide, and they are using our community as a way to kind of gauge what's needed and what can be done. So it's really exciting for us to be able to do this now.
I have to say, to move out of my host role to editorialize as the manager, this is a wonderful opportunity. I appreciate the board's energy in doing this. Unlike the kinds of grants where we just fill out lots of paper and hope we get money and hire somebody, this one is really just sort of the energy, drive, and will of people like you and Andrew regularly talking with the folks from the state who are interested, and it's not, and you're working collaboratively together to make this all work. And this isn't sort of an off-the-shelf thing. And and I love that. And so thank you for kind of taking that leap for us.
Thanks.
And
it's been fun so far.
It involves a lot less paper, so I love that. Grants are great, but so this is wonderful. So why don't we move a little more into what are we doing?
Well, what we're really doing with this project is looking at the zoning, the existing zoning that we have in our community, like a lot of other places in New England, in the state of Massachusetts, is very antiquated. We have really zoned ourselves out of allowing different types of housing. If you look at the program that we're doing, we're really missing the middle of housing. We've really only allowed in our community single-family homes for the past 30, 35 years. We haven't allowed anything else. And housing types have changed for people, what they want, what they're interested in. So this is really a more in-depth look at our community about what is available, what is not available, and how we can make some adjustments to our zoning to allow more things to happen in regards to housing, whether it be anything from duplexes on up to like what happened with cable mills. Mm-hmm. So.
And when you talk about sort of missing the middle, it sounds like you're talking about more things like duplexes and that sort of thing. Is that
Correct.
Kind of what the middle, by
Correct.
Middle, is that what you mean?
Middle is anything from duplexes to townhomes to small cluster housing. There's lots of things that can fill in with that. So we want something that keeps within the character of the community that we already have. So we're really reaching out to the neighborhoods and asking people what they think would fit in their neighborhood so that we can try and accommodate more of what people are looking for.
So that you've now just that fitting in neighborhoods, that sort of leads to, this is not the Williamstown housing study, this is Williamstown future neighborhoods.
Correct.
And so that kind of communicates a little bit, I think, of the aspiration that the board has on this, and that
yes.
You're creating and strengthening neighborhoods, not just building housing.
Exactly. Okay. And that's the name of the project, is Williamstown's Future Neighborhoods. So we have a couple different things going on with that, and one of them is a web-based platform that we have out there now where you can go on, it's through the courbanize.com, You can find all this information on the town webpage as well. But it allows people to look at the whole community and specify specific neighborhoods of where they think certain types of housing would work well.
So it's sort of the way that people can participate and comment and not sit in long meetings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's designed to be fun and enjoyable. So that's allowing a lot of other people in the community different ways to access and be a part of what we're doing.
Making government fun and enjoyable. I love it. I love it. That's if we could only find ways to do more of that. So help me understand just a little bit about timeline for this, because you guys just launched with Co-Urbanize in January.
Correct. So the whole project and information gathering part from the community is from now until like the beginning of April. And we have several different sessions planned within that. So the web-based project is up and running now. Anyone can access it. And that will go until April. So that's something that anyone can get on. We have our first public program that we're encouraging people to come to is Saturday, February 4th. It's at the Youth Center. It's from 10 to 2, and it is going to be interactive. We encourage families to come. You can bring your kids. There's going to be some activities for the kids to do so that parents can really take a look at what we have. There'll be different stations set up where people can go around and learn about the zoning that we have now, different maps, and then also there'll be people from MHP there, and also an advisor that we have working with us to help kind of lead discussion at these different stations. And then after that, in March, there will also be kind of a follow-up meeting, taking the information received from February 4th and looking at that. And then there'll be another one in April.
So I think I heard kind of as you described this February 4th thing, you sort of said 10 to 2. We're not expecting that people are coming in like butts in seats for 4 hours.
No,
this is
it's
come in, participate, experience the station, stay as little or as long as you want within that time frame.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. So good. So you can realize at lunch, hey, I vaguely remember that thing that they were talking about. Right. I'll go over to the youth center and still sort of fully actively participate.
Exactly.
Good.
Yeah.
And then, so as we go through that process, I assume then the next sort of aspiration of this would then be, as the board digests everything, we could be looking at town meeting a year out of
Correct.
Potential changes that sort of have grown out of this process when we find, okay.
That's the ultimate goal of this, is to get input from the neighborhoods and the overall community, and then look at what we have in our zoning now and see how we can make some amendments to broaden the housing prospect of what we have to some new ideas for the community.
Right. Well, thank you for laying that out. I'm excited by this idea. I think it's sort of a new way to engage kind of the conversation about what we want for the future, and I think sitting through meetings and hearings, I realize that this is not always the only and best way to get input. So I love the fact that this interactive approach is in place. So thank you for spearheading that, and really encourage everybody to sort of find a way to engage in this process, whether it's coming to the youth center, whether it's coming to one of the future sessions, even if it's just going on to the website and sticking a pin on the map and giving us a comment. That's that's a really easy way to do it, and I think that will be really helpful for us. So thanks again, and
Thank you.
I expect we'll probably be chatting sometime in a few months just for another status update on this. So thank you.
All right, thank you.
And this has been Town Hall Talk. I'm Jason Hoch, and Amy Jeschawitz from the Planning Board has been my guest. Thank you. We'll see you next month.